Hello everyone, this is Prasiddha. Welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to talk about something I have been contemplating a lot the past few years, but especially as of late. The things that we lose along the spiritual path. There are so many aspects of our lives, habits, people, things that we may drop, let go of, intentionally separate ourselves from as we develop our spiritual path, as we grow as a person, as we devote ourselves to new things, to a path of healing, to a path of enlightenment, whatever you want to call it, right? And there's something that I think we need to talk about more here. What comes after that? What is the phase that comes after all of the shedding and the letting go, and sometimes in many cases isolation, more strictness, right, that we may have with ourselves for a certain period of time? What comes after that? After that, we come back to so many things that we once released. And initially when this begins to happen, I've noticed that a lot of people start to get into a shame or a guilt or a suppression spiral, right? They are like, I shouldn't want to do these things. I shouldn't want to be in this place. I shouldn't want to go back to this habit or this version of me. But there's something so important and enlightening and revealing here. There is such a medicine in our ability to come back, to return again, almost like this parable of the prodigal son, right? Things that we left behind, we eventually return to. There is a cycle, a sacred cycle in that. There is a wisdom in that. And I think the more that we judge or shame or try to fight ourselves on those things, we suffer, and we don't need to. We've created a new matrix for ourselves, right? This spiritual ego, this healing matrix that says you can never drink alcohol, you can never eat dairy, you can never have sex for pleasure, whatever it may be, right? And that might look different for each and every one of us. We're allowed to change. We are supposed to change. And there is actually a spiritual maturity in re-embracing the things which we once had to starkly cut ourselves off from. Now, that's not wrong either, right? There are sacred chapters where that energy is kind of required, right? When we're delicate, it's like we're a little seed, right? In a garden, a new garden, and we have to remove those weeds initially because we don't know how to grow when they're still present there. We aren't strong enough yet. But then after some years of development and growth and practice, we realize those dandelions in the garden don't hurt us anymore. They're actually helping make us stronger. They're helping make us more interesting, more diverse, and we can hold space for all of it. It doesn't have to be so black and white. So these are just my own musings. And of course, take it with a grain of salt. Your journey is your own, as always. You should do things that feel right for you. And everyone's path and approach is different. I very much practice a middle way approach of non-duality, of non-dogmatic, non-black and white thinking. And my path has only deepened in that regard. I have gotten less and less serious, less and less restrictive with myself over these years, especially as I have been devoting my life to the tantric approach more and more over these years. And so kind of the moral of the story, the summary of today's video is there is a maturity in returning to the things which we thought we would never go back to. There is a lightness and innocence that we can actually do it from, a purity of heart, a trust on ourselves, and knowing that it doesn't have to feel the same as it used to. It doesn't have to be a threat like it used to. And we know when it's time. We know. Nobody can tell you when it's time. Nobody can tell you when you're ready for that. but you'll know. I'll give you the example of going to bars or clubs. There were a number of years when I was first practicing on my path and I was sober from alcohol and substances, and it was very difficult and uncomfortable and even not fun for me to be in bars or clubs with my old friends. And there was a number of years I really kind of isolated myself from that scene, and I needed that space to ground in my strength of my values and what I wanted to practice at that time. It was important, right? But fast forward 10 years, I love going out dancing now. I can have the best time in a bar or club, and I don't care if everyone is drinking and I'm not, or if I want to have one drink, or if I just want to do my own thing and be a weirdo. I'm so rooted and grounded in myself that I can go back to that place that I thought for a long time I might not get to enjoy again, you know? So it's a beautiful thing that we can continue to grow and evolve on this path and re-find the magic and the joy and the connection to spaces and places and people and things that we thought we might have lost forever. And I think that's actually a really beautiful thing. I think it's really beautiful and emotional and precious. And I think we all need to reframe the way that we handle ourselves on this path. There is such a violence toward the self. There's such a shame and a hatred and a judgment that we place on ourselves a lot of times walking a spiritual path. We've created this new matrix, right? We've created a new matrix of here's your new box, here's your new labels, here's your new standards. And we then don't let ourselves budge or move when we're actually asking to be moved. Our consciousness is ready to move out of that box again. So give yourself the grace, the freedom, the love, and the innocence to reevaluate as you journey what is working for you and what isn't anymore, what you might want to come back to in your solidarity, in your strength, in a new way, develop a new relationship to it. Whether it's a relationship with your parent or a space that you thought you could never go back to, or your hometown, or a substance, whatever, right? But being honest with ourselves about our relationship to it, the why, the intention behind it, of course, but allowing a little bit more fluidity, you know? So that is my message for today. Thank you for being here. I'm excited to continue making a lot more educational content here on Instagram and TikTok as well. I've been starting to post again, so please make sure to follow me there for more. And then one last announcement, guys. If you are interested in studying this beautiful non-dual path of Tantra with me, you can check out the link right here. Our academy is full of incredibly diverse students and pathways that take a whole new approach to our devotional paths, authentic learning and mentorship and mastery of these beautiful spiritual sciences. So if you're interested in learning more and you want to hop on a free activation and discovery call with us, you can check out the link right below. I wish you all so much bliss, groundedness, and transformation, change, the room and the space for change on your path. Sending you all my love, and I will see you guys in the next video.